Size, Paul Leach. 4, Lucky Rascal, Richard Rowe. 5, Winter Measure, Mr. Mark Pittman. 8, Ragged Robin, Colin Brown. 9, Handover, Graham Bradley. 10, Highland Clipper, Richard Dunwoody. 11, John Larney, Dermot Brown. 12, Music Be Magic, Dennis Coakley. 13, Mel Hagen, John Joe O'Neill. 14, Majuba Road, Hugh Davis. 15, Dixton House, Peter Scudamore. 16, Welsh Oak, Paul Barton. 17, Green Gorse, Colin Hawkins. 19 is Fergie Foster, written by Ridley Lamb. 21, Amadis, written by Mr. Jeff Harker. 22, Valley Justice, written by John Southernhill. Note that Maggie's Girl is a non-runner.
Well, this is a series which is restricted to horses that never ran on the flat. There were 42 qualifiers. In fact, only 28 of them took place. And in conjunction with it, the sponsors ran a raffle which raised £1,600, which was presented to the Injured Jockeys Fund. In fact, the presentation was made just recently in the unsaddling enclosure to that great old veteran, Paddy Farrell, one of the men whose injury inspired the creation of the fund. Presentation made by Managing Director Tom Wood. Well, the runners and riders are on their way to post now, and I wish them all better fortune than the rider of Golden Tie in the last, who broke his stirrup iron before the horse, in fact, had got to Beeches, but completed the course. Well done to him. Let's now join Richard.
Well, what a marvellous thing to do to complete. Remember the days of Tim Brookshaw, the great late Tim Brookshaw, when he rode round without his stirrups. Well, we're back over hurdles, the Malden Timber Novice Hurdle Final. This has been a series right the way through the season that's been keenly contested for. This one we're looking at now, 17, Green Gorse, in the well-known colours of Simon Lycett Green, trained by Neville Crump and ridden by Colin Hawkins. This combination haven't been over busy so far this season, but Green Gorse, which is gelding by Green Shoon out of a straight deal mare, was a winner for them at Wetherby in soft ground, but last time was some way behind John Lanny, and also has a bit to do with Mel Hagen. That's Green Gorse. And this listed race run over 2 miles. And there, Winter Measure just trotting away from us with a yellow cap. Winter Measure going out to the left of frame. Winter Measure is very much fancied here. He's only been beaten on one occasion, and that was when running over a distance rather too far for him. That was over 2.5 miles at Wolverhampton in November, and then he was fourth to Inisharan and Playboy. But other than that, Winter Measure has yet to be beaten. He's by Pamroy out of a really good old mare called Funny Baby, who was a good race mare herself. Ridden by Mark Pittman, who only claims the £4 allowance these days, and he's 4-to-1 favourite. It's 8-to-1 bar Winter Measure, and the stable very much in form, of course, winning with Smith's Man already at the meeting. So the jockeys putting their goggles down, and they'll need to, because it's getting very muddy here indeed. And although the ground may look quite good there from the picture, they're finishing so tired, a lot of these horses, that it indicates the ground is softer than we first thought. Number 8, Ragged Robin. Now, this is a well-bred horse. He's trained by David Ellsworth, one of the cleverest trainers training at the moment. He can train them over 5 furlongs or 3.5 miles, and I think he's much underrated. Trains in a beautiful spot in Hampshire at Whitsbury in the late William Hill stud. Now, of course, owned by Christopher Harper. So we have the result of the 3:45 for you and a betting show.
And the 3:45 was won by number 2, City Boy, 4-to-1. Second, number 6, Golden Tie, 3-to-1 favourite. And third, number 5, Freddie B, 11-to-1. That result is an amended one after a steward's inquiry. And now we have further betting from Aintree. Winter Measure, 4-to-1, the favourite. Handover and Music Be Magic and Lucky Rascal, 8-to-1. Cat's Eyes, 9-to-1. That's come in a point. Ragged Robin and Terry Ash and John Lanny are on 10-to-1. Just Alec, Mel Hagen and Welsh Oak are 14-to-1. Highland Clipper, 16-to-1. 20-to-1 bar these.
Well, there is Handover from Monica Dickinson's stable. This one had quite a high reputation, but his last few runs haven't been that inspiring. But he has won at Hexham and Kelso and Wetherby this season, and won at Catterick last year. But certainly I was slightly disappointed with this fellow when he ran at Ayr, and he just faded out, and that was over 2 miles, so I don't quite know what the answer is to this one, but then I don't train him, so I'm not entitled to know, but I must say I'm just a little bit disappointed. Number 12 is Music Be Magic, They're in the red colours, red and blue quartered colours, and Music Be Magic is ridden by Dennis Coakley for Gordon Richards. As I said earlier, poor old Dennis, he'd been getting very G'd up to ride in the National, and now his horse, Drunken Doug, has been withdrawn. Although, they may regret that now, because the ground has certainly come soft enough for him to act in. But this one has been quite busy all season, and quite successful too, winning 3 times. But his last run again, not so good, and he finished behind Terry Ash at Cheltenham. But has got some goodish form, but on firmer ground than this. Number 13 is Mel Hagan. Mel Hagan, who is a funny little horse there in the yellow and black sleeves. He needs to be covered up and come very late. He's got plenty of ability, this fellow, but he sometimes doesn't always produce it. Well, he's got the man on board to make him do that, but he's got a very high head carriage, even at the walk, you can see, and that makes him look as if he's not very genuine. There's number 15. This is Dixton House, ridden by Peter Scudamore, and he must be extremely happy to be sitting where he is after that horrific fall yesterday. Well, Dixton House pulled up in his last race, which was at Newbury, and he was never really going very well there at all. It was on soft ground that day behind the Liquidator, who strung them out like a string of beads. But prior to that, he'd won in bottomless ground at Leicester, also ridden by Peter Scudamore, and prior to that again at Leicester. So I don't quite know what to make of him. Nice looking horse and a 20-to-1 shot at the moment. Majuba Road in the lighter colours there. That one trained by David Barons, but a more interesting one was just behind him in the red and white. Now there he is, number 3, a Cat's Eyes. This one was bought for 3,400 guineas out of a cellar, and then went on to win 4 races in a row. Cat's Eyes, rather disappointing last time out, and hadn't jumped very well the time before that. But he's been wearing these blinkers for a couple of runs now. 12-to-1 from Tens, trained by Martin Pipe down in the West Country. And 2 miles, this one. It's a long way away, almost on the horizon there. So they come round to the stand and then a complete circuit. Winter Measure still at 4-to-1 favourite. Handover 7s, Lucky Rascal. The grey horse of Josh Giffords is 9s. Music Be Magic, the same price, 10-to-1 bar. But I'd like you also to look out for Highland Clipper in this race, because he wants soft ground, and I know Taffy Salomon fancies his. Number 10, that in red colours with a white disc, owned by extremely pretty lady I saw in the paddock there, Avery Whitfield. And horse not a bad looker either. So it looks as if the action's about to come underway. Number 16 nearest to us, Welsh Oak. Let's join Peter.
Thank you, Richard. And just Lucky Rascal and Valley Justice to join the others, as they do now. A few appeals, but this looks like it. Yes, they're running. Ragged Robin and Welsh Oak. Welsh Oak goes on from Ragged Robin and Highland Clipper, somewhere behind the remainder, as they swing left-handed into the straight. Welsh Oak from Lucky Rascal and Ragged Robin staying over on the far rail. Then comes Cat's Eyes and Just Alec as they jump the first. Welsh Oak on the far side, Ragged Robin. Cat's Eyes right up at them, and Just Alec towards the near side, Lucky Rascal. Welsh Oak, Ragged Robin, Lucky Rascal, Cat's Eyes, Just Alec. Majuba Road over on the far side. Music Be Magic. Amethyst the back marker at the moment. Welsh Oak disputing it with Ragged Robin, Cat's Eyes, Majuba Road, Just Alec and Lucky Rascal, and Music Be Magic and Handover, and Dixton House and Fergie Foster. And just in behind them, John Larney, then Winter Measure, and Amethyst still the back marker, with also in rear Green Gorse. Cat's Eyes, a confirmed front runner. This ex-selling plater takes over now in the red blinkers from Welsh Oak and Ragged Robin. Then Lucky Rascal and Just Alec and Majuba Road. Then comes Terry Ash, Fergie Foster and Music Be Magic. Behind them, Handover and Winter Measure. And Valley Justice and Mel Hagan. Cat's Eyes from Welsh Oak, Ragged Robin and Majuba Road, Just Alec and Music the Magic and Handover and Terry Ash, and Winter Measure and Valley Justice. The last flight right over on the far side. Cat's Eyes, Majuba Road over on the far side, Welsh Oak towards the left of the picture. Between horses, Just Alec. Welsh Oak getting a reminder there. Goes to take it up off Cat's Eyes. Just Alec, very close to the lead. In third now, as they swing left-handed, Terry Ash in fourth. Racing now towards the home turn. Cat's Eyes from Welsh Oak. Just Alec in third. Fourth is Terry Ash. Then Handover just getting into the picture as they swing left-handed with 3 flights left to dump in this Malden Timber Novices Hurdle. And it's Cat's Eyes being tracked by Just Alec. Welsh Oak towards the left as they come down to the third last. Cat's Eyes, Just Alec, Welsh Oak. Cat's Eyes from Just Alec, the grey over on the far side. Welsh Oak on the near side. Coming down to the second last, Just Alec. And Cat's Eyes, very little between the two. Terry Ash is improving, Mel Hagan is improving, coming down to the final flight now, and Cat's Eyes, this former selling plater, is going to jump it clear. Cat's Eyes lands in the lead from Just Alec second, Handover over on the far side, Mel Hagan producing a run towards the stand side, but it's Cat's Eyes from Just Alec and Mel Hagan and Handover as they race inside the final furlong. Cat's Eyes still holding them all. Cat's Eyes from Mel Hagan as they race up towards the line. Cat's Eyes being chased now by Mel Hagan, but Cat's Eyes holds on. Mel Hagan is second, third is Handover, and Just Alec 4. They're the 1, 2, 3, 4 in this Malden Timber Novices Hurdle. What an amazing former selling plater this is. Cat's Eyes having made just about all the running. The full official result. First, number 3, Cat's Eyes, owned by Mrs. Pierre Fazy, trained by Martin Pipe. What a fantastic season he's enjoying. Number 34 for him. Ridden by Paul Leach. Second was number 13, Mel Hagan, owned by J&J Stanley Limited, trained by Peter Easterby and ridden by John Joe O'Neill. And third, number 9, Handover, owned by Mrs. M.M. Haggis, trained by Mrs. Monica Dickinson and ridden by Graham Bradley. Fourth was number 2, Just Alec. This is the winner. Here's how he won it, reviewed by Richard.
Well, would you believe it? This horse has now won £21,000 this season, snatched out of the cellar for £3,400. Martin Pipe must have a good pair of glasses, that's all I can say. Going to the last, he went for a little short one there, and I thought that might just enable the horses behind to get to him, but no, it didn't. He had enough in hand. You can see the favourite back in 6th place in yellow hat there. Winter Measure never got a blow in at all. Stable companion Terry Ash on the outside going well. But at this stage, it's Handover who is the challenger on the inside rail there. And Just Alec, who young Jimmy Duggan had ridden very tenderly indeed. He was holding on to him at the second last, but the horse didn't produce anything. And the challenge comes from the outside with Mel Hagan, the horse I said that doesn't try very often, but he appears to be trying here. And so does his rider, John Joe. Really going for everything here, but Cat's Eyes not very big, but by golly he's game. A 10-to-1 shot with the winner.
And Cat's Eyes, the 10-to-1 winner, being led in there by Mrs. Pauline Fazy. Martin Pipe on the right there. The distance is 2 lengths and 3 lengths. And Highland Clipper officially did not come under starters' orders. So Highland Clipper's supporters do not do their money. And supporters of Cat's Eyes have backed a 10-to-1 winner. The fifth time Martin has scored with this horse since he bought him out of a cellar. What a marvellous buy he was. 3,400 guineas after winning at Devon and Exeter in November. No wonder he won that cellar by 30 lengths. Martin has always insisted that Paul Leach would be champion jockey if he was with a top stable, but he's not very far from being with a top stable now. Here are the starting prices.
First number 3, Cat's Eyes, 10 to 1.